if you're a Fallout fan, you might want to watch this video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Fallout. I am a huge fan of Fallout. I'm pretty sure if you guys have been following me for a while, especially on the Iron Lords podcast, you will know I have been on the front lines when it comes to seeing a new Fallout. I played the Fallout New Vegas, the Fallout 3s, the Fallout 4s. You know, I didn't play Fallout 1 and 2, and that was kind of a different perspective. I should probably go back and try those games out. But I've always been a fan of Fallout for damn near a long time at this point. And favorite Fallout of all times, New Vegas, obviously. And I know some of you probably going to be in that comment section, you know, disagreeing with me. You got a lot of Fallout 3 fanboys. Proud of you guys. Proud of you. But when Microsoft purchased Bethesda, there was a lot of speculation on when we were going to see another Fallout. Fallout has been one of the fan favorites for a while. And then when we got Fallout 76, people were automatically under the assumption at that point that now, since Fallout 76 has come out and, you know, in some ways hurt the brand, some ways didn't. They did go back and they did fix a lot of the biggest issues. But people were concerned. What's going to happen to the Fallout franchise at this point? You know, I myself was more on the, okay, you guys have ate, it's my turn to eat. I want Elder Scrolls 6. So Microsoft buys them. And I made a couple videos, and if I can find the thumbnails, I'll throw them up, put them in the comment section below, where I was like, look, this is a big IP. Where is Fallout? I don't care if you got to hire more people and make another whole team. It is, in my opinion, a wasted opportunity to only have a Fallout after Elder Scrolls. Because at this point, we're not going to get Elder Scrolls till probably 2028, maybe 2027. And then we're going to wait another 4 or 5 years to get Fallout 6. Fallout 5. So you're looking at it from that perspective, what? Mid of next generation, maybe the end of next generation, depending on how well development goes. I'm too much of a Fallout fan to want that to go down. Now, for those of you that's been living under a rock, Microsoft made a lot of layoffs in terms of the Xbox branch, Xbox division. I guess it's Xbox Gaming or Microsoft Gaming, and some of them was at the ZeniMax. They were working on an MMO there. People loved that game. Apparently, Phil Spencer and Matt Booty couldn't put it down when they were having interviews and when they were having meetings, which is kind of crazy that you couldn't put a game down, but you ended up canceling it. But that's besides the fact. We've already talked about that. So right now it's being speculated that they were having to choose between certain IPs. Are they going to fund certain IPs or not fund certain IPs? That was the general idea of what's going on in the industry right now. I personally believe you should have done both. That's just my opinion. I feel like this is a creative industry, and sometimes in a creative industry, you got to take risks. It's one of the reasons the industry is where it is now is because there's less risk being took in the industry. So you're having more and more of the same stuff because it's easier to do that. So you got something like that. No risks being took. They're going to go with Fallout. Fallout is the bigger IP. Apparently, what the rumors going around is they shifted assets from one vein to another vein. They're like, look, this game is uncertain of what it's going to do. This game, we don't know if it's going to do well or not. We don't want to go out on a limb and say it's going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the funding for this massive MMO while we can before we go into it. And keep in mind it did have its own engine. A proprietary engine is not easy to develop for. You know, look at what happened with the Slip Space engine. You know, over there at 343, they had their own engine just like this MMO. When you bring people on, they got to be trained on it. It's not an easy thing. That's why a lot of the industry is going towards like 3 engines. Do I agree with it? No. I feel like, you know, you should want more engines in the industry to make it a little bit better in terms of what tools. So look, I do feel like we do get the same vein of type of games, but that's besides the fact. So, Fallout. Apparently, that money was generated towards Fallout. So let's go over here to Insider Gaming. Let's read what's going on here. So let's go ahead and really break this down and see what happens. Many were left with a slight empty feeling after the recent Xbox game showcase when Bethesda Game Studios didn't reveal anything related to Fallout aside from more content for Fallout 76. Of course, for a while, fans of the Apocalypse series have been eagerly awaiting news of Fallout 3 Remaster or follow-up to Fallout New Vegas. It's tough being a Fallout fan right now. The hype for the show died off, and the season isn't coming for almost 6 months. There's no indication of a Fallout 5 sitting on the horizons, and Fallout 76 is in a slight in-game run again. Fortunately for those hungry gamers, it's recently claimed that the multiple Fallout projects are in development. Fallout is the big one. It was claimed in April that Fallout 3 Remaster is in the works, but it might be a very long time before it materializes. We've also several years away from a Fallout forever emerging from the depths of Bethesda GameWorks Studios. It'll be a very different world when the game is eventually released, though. I can't wait to play it on my PlayStation 8 Elite Pro. Recently, during an episode of Skill Up's Friend Per podcast, it was claimed that multiple Fallout games are in the works. So someone said Fallout is the big one. I can't wait to immediately start work on the Fallout 5. There are multiple Fallout projects in development, including, as far as I'm aware, the one that you've all been waiting for, but it's not far along enough, anything that you're likely going to see or playing anytime soon. So, in my opinion, the one that people think it is it's Fallout New Vegas. Look, right now, it's been confirmed, spoiler alert to the TV show, they are going to New Vegas next. Fallout will be in that particular part of the Fallout universe. So, in my opinion, if they're able to at least announce this sooner rather than later, it would be really big. Imagine 6 months from now, you're in the season finale of Fallout, and they just drop that trailer at the end. At the end of the credits, it would be cool if Todd Howard and the show creator came together and said, we had one waiting for you guys. Fallout New Vegas is a huge, huge fan favorite when it comes to the Fallout franchise. But at the end of the day, I still think it was a mistake. I still think that I love Fallout. And at the end, when it comes to something like this, Fallout is a safer bet. But once again, it's like I said, this industry has gotten too comfortable making safe bets. This industry doesn't want to make any risks whatsoever. And the problem with that is that's not how you get money in this industry. This industry is a creative industry. This industry is what you can innovate, what's going to resonate with the audience, what's not going to resonate with the audience. And the problem that these corporations are not seeing is they all want to be all want to be Fortnite. They all want to be the next battle royale that packs off. They all want to be Apex Legends, GTA Online. But none of them are willing to take the risks that these studios took to get that brand and that IP where it currently is. Do you think Fortnite was where it was from the start? No, Fortnite originally wasn't even a battle royale. And I assume early results of that single player or co-op experience wasn't resonating the way they wanted it to. And they saw what PUBG was doing and they said, we could do that too. And once again, Epic could easily have just stuck where they were with the original Fortnite and say, look, we're good here. We're making a lot of money. But they've always innovated. They've always tried to do something different. They've always tried to collab with bigger brands. They've always tried to push that brand forward. They take those risks. Now, obviously, you can make the argument that they not themselves aren't immune to the backlash of this industry because they've done a lot of layoffs themselves. But my thing when you look at something like this is this industry is not going to move forward unless you give creative freedom back to the developers. How many games have we heard of in the past? I could name one right now. Dead Space 3. They had a huge mindset on that they wanted to do with that game. They wanted to make it to more of like a mine interactive game where one character is hallucinating the other character the whole game. That was the original, perception that they wanted to go with Dead Space. They wanted to have that co-op experience, and the second character is literally an hallucination that the first character is, and they find out at the end. I don't know if they've ever came out openly and said what they wanted to do with that, but that sounds amazing. But what happened? EA came in and said, we want to make this more of, they wanted to do, I think, microtransactions in the Dead Space 3. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played it. But there was a lot of issues with Dead Space 3. They still, I believe, wanted to do a co-op, or at least there was going to be another character in the game that was always with you. It may not have been a co-op game, but that other character was going to end up being a figment of Isaac's mind. A shame we didn't get that game. These developers, they just look at what their neighbors are doing. Well, not developers, publishers. They look at what their neighbors are doing, and all they see is how can we do that and make money. I've said it on this channel a lot. There's too many people that are making games to make money, and there's not enough people that are making money from making games. And there's a difference between the two. One is purely money driven. Now, obviously, money makes the world go round. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm stupid in the matter. I understand money is important. But that creative freedom, that creative aspect, no amount of AI is going to replace that. Humans making games is hugely beneficial because they can make human calls. I don't know if any of you worked with AI much, but sometimes it's rough. You got to do it like 8 or 9 times. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel if they were to make another Fallout. Which one would you prefer? Very curious your guys' opinion on that. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content over here. We're getting back into the swing of things. We do a lot more reviews. Got a couple reviews coming out for you guys. So keep your eyes out. Keep them peeled. But anyway, until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, it's crazy. It's been a long week.